Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Soulful Sessions with Rory, the podcast where we dive deep into the matters of the heart, mind, and spirit. I'm your host, Rory, and I'm thrilled to embark on this soulful journey with each and every one of you. Soulful Sessions with Rory is your safe space for introspection, inspiration, and maybe even a little revelation. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee, winding down after a long day, or just seeking a moment of connection, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's soulful exploration, I want to remind you that Soulful Sessions with Rory is designed for entertainment purposes only. While we may touch on profound topics and meaningful discussions, it's important to approach our conversations with an open heart and a sense of curiosity. Life is a journey, and so is this podcast. We'll navigate the realms of self discovery, spirituality, and personal growth. But remember, the insights we share here are not a substitute for professional advice or guidance. Always connect with the appropriate professionals regarding your unique circumstances. So, whether you're a seasoned seeker or just dipping your toes into the waters of self exploration, get ready for a blend of wisdom, laughter, and a touch of magic in each episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss a soulful moment. Follow me on social media on IG at Soulful Explorer, on Facebook, Listening Veteran Life Coach, and Snapchat, Rory Soulful Explorer with 2 L's to stay connected. Share your thoughts and be a part of this incredible community. Now let the journey begin. Sit back, relax, and let's fill our souls together. Today's soulful episode is recognizing and overcoming depression. If you just wait in the darkness, your eyes will eventually adjust. You ever sat in a room that was pitch black and you just sat there for a minute and all of a sudden your eyes adjusted? Now, this one hits home for me because I think that, let me just, in a moment of transparency, I've struggled with depression. I could say for the majority of my life, I just didn't know it. And see, that's the thing that's tricky about depression, understanding what it is. Now, I'm going to tell you, depression does not show up for everybody the same way. Sometimes the things that lead us to depression are not the things that would lead another person to depression. Let me give you an example. I think about the Wall Street crash in the 20s. There were a lot of people, unaliving themselves, jumping out of windows and doing things of that nature. But there was a group of people that did none of that. In fact, they were unbothered, probably because they were already in a poverty state. So, the one thing that led to somebody else being depressed was not the same thing that got someone else in depression. A simple definition for depression can simply be a constant feeling of sadness and loss of interest, which stops you from doing your normal activities. That's the simple version. Now, you ever just didn't want to get out of bed? You used to go and let's say you played basketball every day or every other day. You used to go to the gym and you just stop. You just stop doing the things that you used to love. And before you know it, you felt like your life changed. You ever start noticing that, oh man, I'm gaining weight because you stopped moving. Instead of getting up in the morning going running, you get up in the morning and you just kind of mope around, unhappy. And then you tell yourself, oh, I just need a cup of coffee. I'll feel better. You get up, you get in your car and you drive to work. And you say to yourself, oh, well, today just a bad day. I'm just going to go in here and do my job. But you find yourself angry. Or you find yourself sad. Or you find yourself anxious. See, any of these things can be a sign that you're depressed. I'm going to tell you. See, for me, I had certain things that would tell me that, Rory, you probably depressed. Now, I love video games. I love them. Love to play them. But I've also noticed that back in the day was the trigger for me. Well, wrong word. That was a notification for me to let me know that something was wrong. If I wanted to play a video game all day long, not deal with my phone, not talk to my friends, not do any of those things, I noticed that I was avoiding something. Problem is I didn't know what I was avoiding. So I played these games because I was sad. I was bothered, but I didn't know it. I just thought, hey, I just really like to play. But it's amazing on days that you're feeling great, you don't think about those coping mechanisms. And see, that's where it gets tricky because that's what you do when you're depressed. You find your coping mechanisms that you've already put in place. For some people, it's, oh, when I get off work, I'm just going to have that glass of wine. Oh, then I can go to bed. Some people, it's, I'm going to go and get this person that I enjoy having sex with, and you have sex with them and send them on their way. It could be random sex. It could be promiscuity where you're just sleeping with tons of people trying to fill that hole, trying to feel better. It could be something where you go and do a hobby that, is quite unusual for you. It could be going running. Like, it's so many different things that could let you know that you're in that space. You go to your room, you isolate, you don't talk to anybody. You don't talk to your husband, you don't talk to your wife. You just sit there. And when they start talking to you, you get irritated and agitated and you just leave me the hell alone. So there are a lot of telltale signs that will tell you that, hey, something's wrong. But it's up to you. It's not up to your spouse. It's not up to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children to tell you what's wrong. Because the truth is you probably wouldn't listen. Hurt, fear, anger, all of these things are signs that could tell you could be depressed. I lost a really good friend of mine last year. And when I tell you my heart was broken, I didn't know what a broken heart was. But I thought I was fine, by the way. I was like, oh, she died and it's okay. People die all the time. I'm only going to think about the good things about her and I'm going to keep it moving. But my days were not the same. Every day I felt like something was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. And I remember one day just sitting there and I started crying. And now I'm really tripping out because I'm like, why am I crying? For nothing, just random. What I didn't realize is that particular day, there was something that I noticed of hers that came across the internet or what have you. And I just was emotional. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to focus on serious things. I didn't want to focus on work, and in fact, I used work to kind of avoid thinking about the death of my friend. Then I lost another friend. So now I got two deaths that I'm trying to overcome unknowingly. Because if you ask me, I'm not depressed. I'm a little sad because my friend died. Now, you could say, what is depression? When it comes to, how do you know you're depressed and not just a little bit sad? The key is you no longer want to do things that you previously used to do. The isolation, the just being in complete darkness, sitting still, avoiding conversations, avoiding people. You could be depressed. That's between you and your therapist to find out, though. I knew when I was. Now, I say sit in the dark with your eyes open, and your eyes will eventually adjust. And what that means is that over time, you'll adjust. But I will tell you this, adjusting without help, without guidance can be really, really touchy and tricky. And it's hard to do. I recommend therapy for everybody. And not just because I'm a therapist, but because I was a patient before I was ever a therapist. I think it's super important that you understand how you function, how you move, how you work. So the first thing that you want to do when you recognize that you are depressed, Seek professional help. I cannot emphasize that enough. Well, Rory, I'm just going to go to God and I'm going to pray and I'm going to be okay. I don't know about you, but God got me my license. So God created therapists. There was a reason. I'm not telling you don't have faith. Yeah, absolutely have faith. But also trust the process. There's a reason why this field was created. Now there are different types of therapists you can go to. There are psychiatrists, psychologists, licensed professional counselors, licensed clinical social workers, licensed marriage family health therapists. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, what's best for you? Well, if I don't have a lot of clients, me. No, I'm just joking. What's best for you is something you'll have to determine. You'll have to go and seek them out. There are different websites and things you can go to. If you reach out to me, I'll give you some places to go and look. But at the end of the day, don't let your first therapist be your last therapist. Unless, of course, it was a good therapist. But it might take you 3 or 4 therapists to get to the one that suits you. It took me a long time to find a therapist that I liked. And one of my therapists I actually got mad at. Like, really, you don't even know me. So take your time and find someone that works for you. Now, the other thing may be more difficult, admittedly, but you want to create a support group. Let me explain. You have to have some people in your corner that know you battle with depression. You battle with anxiety. You battle with yourself. Somebody you can call and just say, hey, look, I'm going through it right now. And with your family, let them know, hey, if you live with these people, hey, sometimes I hurt. Sometimes things don't feel well and I go sit in the corner. When you see me sitting there, check on me sometimes. You're not a burden to anybody. And I know that's sometimes what you're thinking. I don't want to tell people my problems because I don't want them to just think that, all I got is problems and this and that. Put that pride to the side. This can be life or death. And I want you to feel open and honest enough to just talk to somebody. If you're not talking to a therapist, at least talk to somebody. Hey, today was a bad day for me. I just want to relax. Another thing you can do when you realize that you're depressed is you want to start having a healthier lifestyle. You hear people say it all the time. You want to get those endorphins going in your brain. And the only way to do that, well, it's not the only way, but exercise is one of the best ways to do that. Sex is too. So, I need you to get to it. The exercise, not the sex. I mean, unless that's what you want to do. But you have to do something physical. Go bike riding, go mountain climbing, go running, do something, go swimming. The best thing that happened to me is when I start getting up every morning and working out. Because it sets the stage for how your day is going to go. After, of course, you tell yourself that your day is going to go well. And then you start running and working out, getting those endorphins going. You pumped up for the rest of the day. So yeah, definitely have a healthier lifestyle. And it can be a variety of things. Bike riding, walking the dog. And do it with purpose. When you do things that are regular, I had somebody tell me, well, Rory, I don't work out because on my job, I go from this floor to that floor. What's your heart rate? That's the telltale sign. If your resting heart rate is only 70 and you going to the other side of the room is only 72, that's not really working out there. But definitely seek professional help. See a trainer. Ask someone to help you develop a healthy way of living. Meal prep. Do things like that, because a lot of times when we're depressed, our body isn't getting enough oxygen and definitely not enough food. Do breathing exercises. Maybe consider yoga. But definitely change the way you move. Look at the vegetables that you're eating or the vegetables you're not eating. Look at the things that you have that you're not putting in your body. More fruits and vegetables, more water. You want to do things that get your blood flowing. You want to get oxygen to your brain. Because guess what? Breathing will help. Absolutely. Deep breathing exercises, 10 seconds, 10 times a day. No, 5 times a day. Inhaling for 6 seconds, exhaling for 4. Do that 10 times. It helps me. So, just something else to think about. Which goes into another thing, mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Those things can help yoga, deep breathing, meditation. Man, when you calm your spirit, calm your mind, it is such a beautiful place. If you find yourself not being able to focus, not being able to do these things, then you really do need to seek help. Taking some deep breaths shouldn't be that difficult, but you also have to tell yourself, this is going to help me. Practice telling yourself that. This is going to help me. This will work for me just fine. Because when you do that, you're setting the stage for it being successful. Now, the one I like is setting small goals. If you're in depression, you're feeling like that nothing you do is right. Nothing good is happening. The world is just crap. Well, guess what? If you set small goals, and I'm talking goals every single day, you set small goals, you have something to celebrate. Don't do it with alcohol if you're depressed, because alcohol is a downer. You don't want to do that. But you set these goals because every day you got to have a victory. I don't care what it is, every single day you have to have a victory. What are you telling yourself that you're good at? What are you telling yourself you accomplished? Nothing, for the most part. So that's adding to your depression in some cases. So you got to have a victory. So you set a small goal. Like for me, my goal, number 1, waking up. Woo, I did it again. Another goal for me is getting up and going to the gym. That is a victory. It's a small goal. And I take it very seriously when I'm able to do it. So that's a plus. Engage in activities. When you're depressed, you stop doing the things you used to do. So you got to go backwards. Look at what are those things that you used to enjoy and try to do them again. And if you can't do them again, find something else to replace them. You might have a group of people you hung out with. You can't do that anymore. Find a new group. You might have played board games. There's a variety of things that you used to do that you just don't do anymore. Try to do them. Involve people that you love. Make it creative. You got this. You can do it. So you have to be able to engage in these activities and start reliving your life. Get out the darkness. You've waited long enough. Your eyes are fully adjusted. It's time for change. Now, this next one, so super important to me. Limit stressors. Now, I know some of you guys go to work. You can't limit that stressor. You at work. And as soon as you walk through the door, the job itself is the stressor. The supervisor, the coworker, the coffee pot, the parking space, those are your stressors. Now, this is where you have to change you. Because it's not the job. It's how you feel about the job. It's how you look at the job. So you have to tell yourself every single morning, I'm going to have a great day at work. I'm not going to allow anything or anybody to disturb my peace. You can do that. You don't have to live the way that they're telling you have to live. You can do that. You can remove these stressors. So when you go to work, you tell yourself, I'm not having a bad day today. Today is going to be better than yesterday. Every single day. Then you got to put up a fight. No, 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 not a physical fight. You got to put up a fight with yourself because you are going to have to challenge your negative thoughts. You're going to have to say to yourself, I got up on the right side of the bed today. You got to say to yourself that when I walk through those doors at work, everything is going to be great. When I get home, everything is going to be great. You have to practice these things. That's where the meditation comes in. The breathing. You have to tell yourself that this is going to be fantastic. Some people say, well, I don't want to lie to myself. You're not. You're setting the stage for where you want your life to be. You're predicting what you're going to do and how you're going to move. Once you start doing these things, you're going to notice that you're going to get in a groove. Things are going to start changing. You have to start practicing saying, I used to be real negative. I used to have real negative thoughts. I used to believe that people didn't like me, love me, or want me. I used to. Because your past is what you create. You do not make that past your present or your future. You have to build. You have to plan. You got to set goals. You're going to get to that next phase, that next level. Now, of course, all this goes back full circle. You got to consider professional help. Because, see, in considering professional help, you're telling yourself, I can't do this by myself. Now, professional help is not just a therapist. You could get you a life coach. You can you go see your pastor. You could go see a minister or somebody of the church. You go see a friend. But what you want to do is get some assistance. Now, I highly recommend you get professional help, though. Someone who's trained in helping people. Someone who's trained in understanding how the mind works, how the mind and the body are connected to each other. That's what I think you need to do when you're dealing with something like this. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't pretend to know everything. What I will tell you is that you are in control of you. What hurt you does not have to control you. You don't need anybody else to validate who you are. It's up to you to change what you have going on in your life. So that means you take the steps. You trust the process. And you no longer allow anybody to tell you who you are. You no longer allow yourself to seek validation through others' belief systems. You can do this. But if you've heard nothing else, then hear me say, get professional help. And like I said, reach out to me if you need to know some ways to do it. But always be smiling. Always tell yourself that today is going to be better than yesterday. Tomorrow is going to be even better. So I just want to say thank you, beautiful souls, for joining me today on another enlightening episode of Soulful Sessions with Rory. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit. As we navigate the depths of introspection and explore the boundless possibilities of the human spirit, remember that your journey is uniquely yours, and every twist and turn is a sacred part of your story. Embrace the whispers of your soul, and may the echoes of our conversations linger in your heart, sparking a flame of self-discovery. Until we meet again in the realms of shared wisdom, stay true to your essence, stay connected to the rhythm of your soul, and always remember that you are a masterpiece in the making. Wishing you love, light, and infinite possibilities on your soulful journey. Until next time, this is Rory signing off with gratitude and reverence for the magic that resides in each and every one of you.